Everybody, welcome back to the Tip of the Iceberg Wrestling Podcast / YouTube channel where wrestling meets reality. This episode is my reaction and review to last night's WWE Monday Night Raw. Let's get started. So, last night's Raw was odd. It had a lot of good things, but it had some bad things that, in my opinion, made no sense and could be quite damaging to certain wrestlers' careers. Last night's Raw, it was reported that Paul Heyman had 100% control of everything last night, and I could tell that, and that's a good and bad thing. It seems like Paul Heyman's approach on booking is relying on shock value. That's what a lot of people's talking about that too as well, and I see that a lot of, I wouldn't say shocks happened, but a lot of stuff happened that was supposed to ensue shock. But they left me with questions, scratching my head, and going, what? And one of the things which I'll talk about when we get to it is Rusev is the father of Maria Kanellis' baby. I repeat, that Rusev is the father of Maria Kanellis' baby. Potentially. Maybe. I don't know. But we'll get to that shortly because that was crazy. But the show started off with Rollins coming out over the promo. And the Fiend, not the Fiend, but Bray Wyatt's Mr. Rogers' character cut a Firefly Funhouse promo and basically confirmed that they're going to be fighting in 3 weeks. It wasn't confirmed. They'll fight in 3 weeks at Hell in a Cell And it was a good Firefly Funhouse segment. He basically promised to make new friends and all that stuff that night. And he would see Seth Rollins in hell, in a cell. And after this, we had the botch of the century. They went to show the match, the card for the night. Every screen was upside down. And I think they did this by accident because at the end of the show, they had the Firefly Funhouse pop up, the Bray Wyatt's video, and that was upside down at some points of it. So I bet they did the upside down for this Raw screen by accident and forgot to change it. But I got pictures on my phone to prove it. All the match cards, they were hyping the King of the Ring tournament, which is match of the week in my opinion. They're hyping up the Bayley Banks, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss tag match and stuff like that, and Rollins and Bobby Roode. All the screens were upside down. I lost my mind. I posted on Twitter what with pictures of it. That was hilarious. That was such an undecided botch. I was not expecting that to happen. It was hilarious to see that someone made that grave of a mistake on live TV. And it's been reported very softly that someone was fired immediately after that happened. So whoever was over this is now unemployed. That was hilarious. And it kind of set the tone for the atmosphere of the night, in my opinion, which was odd, and a lot of stuff was out of place, in my opinion. Some things were good for the show, but some things were bad as well. Next up, Braun Strowman promised that whoever goes to the ring next would get these hands. And then I think that after this they had Dolph and Rudolph come out. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode come out. And the Wild came out with them and just talking about how they're good champions. Braun Strowman came out and tore up everybody except Bobby Roode, which I thought was interesting. Something that I saw made me think that the team of Bobby Roode and Rudolph would not last long because Bobby Roode's only out for himself. It was when Braun Strowman was running rampant around the ring, he knocked down the Revival and then he was charging at Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode saw him a mile away and ran away. He ran in the ring, down the other side of the ring, and ran up the ramp, allowing Dolph to get blasted by Braun Strowman. So they asked to play a key into their team going forward is that Bobby's going to be turning on Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's going to turn face, and they're going to feud. Oh, gosh. But, yeah, that's what I'm seeing happening. Because Roode was out for himself. That was evident last night. The seeds were planned for that, I think, in my opinion. which is odd in my opinion, but it should be interesting going forward nonetheless. So the first actual match we had was the OC versus Cedric Alexander and the War Raiders. I still don't know the Raiders' individual names. I'm gonna call them the War Raiders. I said War Raiders. The Viking Raiders now, excuse me. Viking Raiders. And their names are changed, and I'm gonna call them Hanson and Rose still because I don't know their new names still, and that's not their fault. They just have weird names. But this match I thought was a very, very good match. Hanson and Rowe, the Viking Raiders, looked amazing this match. I love them as a team. Both men can go. Hanson's so fast. It's incredible to see. Hanson did a swanton bomb off the top rope onto everybody on the outside the ring. It was insane. Cedric and AJ were in the ring. AJ won with a second rope Styles Clash to pin Cedric Alexander again. And some people talking about how this Cedric's looking weak and all that stuff. Cedric's looking great coming out of these matches because he's literally fighting AJ to the nail and coming up short barely. So it's not Cedric sucks or anything. AJ's the veteran and knows what to do when to do it. This will probably pay off with Cedric beating AJ clean for the title in the future. But I like how this is playing up with AJ's always got Cedric's number. Cedric comes up close every time, so I'm very excited for the feud to go forward. The match itself was fantastic, I think. It was a very good match. But next we had a 24/7 championship segment. R-Truth and Carmelo was at some famous place. I think they were in Knoxville, Tennessee, I think. I didn't catch where they were from. Might have been Knox County, I don't know. But either way, Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane, popped up in a suit and tie and wanted to show R-Truth around the city since he's the mayor. I was like, I know this is going, I can't wait. Next match was the match of the night, possibly the week. Chad Gable vs. Baron Corbin in the King of the Ring finals match. This match was absolutely incredible. I can't get over this match. This match, from here on out, the show was pretty good, except for the issue with Rusev I'll talk about in a minute. But this was just an absolutely incredible match. I can't get over how good these two work very well together. People behind Corbin, but the crowd was really, really, really behind Gable. I loved seeing Chad Gable get the reception he got. I still wish if they plan on giving Chad screen time like this, they need to push him and give him new music. Because every time he comes out to the American Alpha theme song, it just kills my hype for him. Because that music's so outdated because Jason Jordan's no longer in the picture. They haven't been teaming up in like 3 or 4 years. Chad needs new music if he's going to stick around like this, which I hope he does. Because he is absolutely insane in the ring. He is great. He's straight. He's one of the best technical wrestlers in the WWE today. He is incredible. His focus is trying to lock on the ankle lock, which is his finishing move now. But this match was so back and forth. It was insane. The finish was incredible too. You had Chad going for a Hurricanrana, I think. A head scissors thing, and Baron Corbin to the end of the day for the win. All hail King Corbin. This match, again, Baron Corbin deserves this win. He fought the most out of everybody to get to this point. He did deserve this win, which is kind of odd booking for a heel to do, which shows that this time it was kind of booked very weird. Because usually babyfaces have to fight tooth and nail for this type of thing, but they made Baron Corbin the heel fight tooth and nail. And when he won, the fans liked it. He didn't get a massive pop like I figured he would. But Baron Corbin is now King of the Ring 2018. And as soon as he got to the throne, he did his little pose. And they cut back to the next segment. They didn't crown him. They didn't do anything. They just showed him looking at the throne, and that's it. I didn't like that. But it's also announced that his coronation is going to be tonight on SmackDown. So it's just SmackDown star now. What? But hopefully this is something good for Baron Corbin. They just don't have someone either return or debut or whatever and just screw him over. Baron Corbin can make this gimmick work. And I feel like WWE is just going to push it to the side and it's not going to matter. which is going to make a whole month or two tournament seem crappy. Hopefully they don't do that, but this is my hunch, is they're going to make Baron Corbin a afterthought now, after such a great show in the tournament. But this match was insane. I think unless something better happens tonight or tomorrow night, this is match of the week. Alright. Next up was the worst segment, but also the funniest segment of the night. The Street Profits hosted Maria Kanellis' baby gender reveal party. So she comes in and she's like, hey, it's a boy. Everybody said, hey, pop for it. And she's like, Mike was all excited and hugging her. And she's like, Mike, you're not the father. Ricochet is the father. And they pan to Ricochet. He's like, oh, no, but you thought, oh, no, that's not what happened, dog. And Mike and Ray like, I'm going to meet you in the ring now. So they go in the ring. Mike's trying to beat up Ricochet. Ricochet's like, I didn't do it, man. I don't want to fight you, man. Ricochet sold this very well. The fact that he didn't want to fight Mike because he knows Maria's trying to manipulate him. But it ended up having to fight him, and Ricochet beat him with a Ricola knee into that. And they had another Firefly Funhouse 7 real quick. They had Bray hanging up pictures of Jerry Lawler, Mick Foley, those who he's beaten up in the past. This is, I think he called it his friend wall or something. He's like, hey, I gotta add someone else. I'm gonna go add a new friend to the wall. I'm like, oh, here we go. So the rest of the night we had the looming thought, who's the Fiend gonna attack and when and why and when and all that stuff. So that was a good kind of overcast for the rest of the show. But this gender reveal was trash because after the Firefly segment that just happened, Mike was sitting on the apron and Murray's like, what's it take to manipulate, what's she saying? Basically, what's it take to get you to step up? She's like, I'm basically she's ashamed of Mike. She's like, here's the real father. And Rusev comes out. Rusev is back. And this man is looking shredded. He has the mustache. He's lost a lot of body fat. He's got more muscle. Rusev looks incredible. And he came out to I wouldn't call it crickets, but a very, very confused audience. Because a lot of people was asking immediately, like, why'd you sleep with Maria? Where's Lana? Y'all divorced? It's like a lot of questions came up immediately. Rusev went down the ring. Mike's like, hey, man, if you're the father of the baby, congrats to you and Maria. I don't want none, and tried to leave. But Rusev caught him, destroyed him. Mike's a kick in the ring, and the accolade for the win in like a 6-second match. A lot of people say dogging this segment because it was very out of place and confusing. I agree, but I'm seeing beneath it. I'm seeing in between the lines. This has nothing to do with Rusev being the father. One bit. It was just so happened Rusev came out during this segment. It was playing and all that stuff, yeah. But I think Maria had something else in mind for the father. Rusev's like, hey, I'm back, and he just wanted to beat up somebody, which is my Kanellis. So I don't think this has any kind of correlation to the Kanellis' storyline, or whatever you call what they're doing. Rusev's like, hey, I'm back, I want to beat up somebody, and chose Mike as his prey. I think Maria was just playing along with it to make, because since Mike's basically being a bad husband to her, she likes anyone beating him up, which this needs to be leading to a Mike Kanellis face turn. It has to be. Because this has gone on for 2 months now, basically, of Mike getting literally dogged by his wife. He's being the love and supportive husband, yeah, I appreciate that and like it, but he's getting trampled over by his wife. Basically said that he's not man enough to impregnate her, made him lay down so she could be 24/7 champion. This has to lead to a Mike Kanellis face turn, maybe even a little push, because I'd get behind Mike if he snapped on Maria and left her. That's why I'm hoping goes down. But I don't like the soap opera aspect of this feud in WWE, because Mike looks like just a complete waste. Maria, she plays that character well, but I'm getting tired of this, and they need to move on with this and do something else with it. And then Rusev, like I said, Rusev coming back was just a happenstance. He just happened to come back at this time, and he's not gonna be the father of Maria's baby, even though he can't. Everybody's talking about him being back. It's a good talking So he's got everybody talking. That's cool. But I got a feeling that he's not involved in this at all. He just came back at this time and beat up Mike Kanellis because he was the easy prey. So I don't think Rusev has any connection with Maria Kanellis, anything like that. But I think it's very cool, not cool, but interesting that everybody's talking about this and questioning it, which means it did its job of getting Rusev being the talk again, kinda in a weird way. But it did all this together. It was poor booking, and it was just they need to fill time. And Rusev's back, so hopefully he gets pushed now that he's back because he looks great. He can carry the U.S. title from AJ in a great feud. He has potential. Please use him, WWE. Please, because he's back. Luke Harper's back. All the boys who we thought was leaving is back, essentially. So, someone asked in the party, too, what did my man Mike Kanellis do to deserve this? I also think they're punishing Mike Kanellis because he wanted to leave WWE months ago. WWE's petty sometimes, So I think they're doing this to just punish him for wanting to leave and then resigning, like, hey, you're back. So here you go. Basically, they're reprimanding him for wanting to leave in their own way, which I don't like. That's just what I think they're doing. So after this gender reveal shenanigans, we had another 27 championship segment. They had Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, and R-Truth. No Carmelo this time. Going to the I think it's Knox County Volunteers stadium, which is a big stadium, a very nice stadium. R-Truth was funny. He's like, y'all have all these Salvation Army standers here, and it was hilarious. This segment was gold. And Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, wanted to introduce him to a police officer. It turns out this police officer was a referee. Took off his uniform, kind of had a ref shirt on. And he's like, I'm gone, dog. Nice seeing you. I'll talk to you later. He went to run away and ran into one of the field goal posts, knocking himself out. Kane is your new 24/7 champion. This was a great segment throughout because being in Kane's I guess one of his towns. I forgot where they were, but being in Knox County, Kane was there just for nostalgia, not nostalgia, but he's like, hey y'all, my town, I'll come by. It was good to see Kane, very good, and him as 24/7 champion was very good to see as well. These segments were just, I thought, funny. They were very funny, and R-Truth is just very comedy. He's just comedy gold. And it's great. These segments were good for the most part. Next up was they had Cesaro versus Rey Mysterio in a pretty good match. Rey won. I didn't watch much of it. I was busy doing something, but Rey won in a pretty good match. Next up, we had a video package for AOP, All Is the Pain, speaking in some language. So they're back. Good to see. Hopefully they'll get pushed this time, please. I've noticed we're saying that to a lot of people. Kind of a little rant side note. Is we're begging them to push certain people. We're begging them to do certain things. I've noticed because of this, WWE has destroyed a lot of people's like momentum, careers, this and the other. Like Braun Strowman. Just because Braun Strowman ran through the Rudolph and the Revival last night, he was his momentum is dead. Personally, in my opinion. Because looking at over last year, he lost to Brock Lesnar with 4 F5s, I believe, at Crown Jewel last year. Since then, he had nothing. And then he lost to Seth Rollins with the 4 club stomps and a pedigree. Braun Strowman, to me, he's a polarizing figure. Yeah, it's good to see him, but I cannot take him seriously in a major championship role anymore. And it's sad to say, but it shows that WWE has booked a lot of people into the ground and continue to do so. And Braun Strowman's one of them, Rusev's one of them, and AOP is one of them. AOP was amazing, awesome in NXT. As soon as they came to WWE, they got squashed. We call it the Ascension treatment. They just no. I can't take them seriously right now. They have a lot of work to do with AOP to make me take them seriously again, because they literally have done nothing on the main roster. Well, I think Razor got injured, but still. They have a lot of work to do with a lot of the stars looking back at it now. Now, back to the show. AOP, yeah, they're going to repackage to being a dominant Samoan tag team, basically what they're going to do. In suits. And so we had a pretty good match. It was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Bayley and Sasha Banks. It also was confirmed during the night that Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch will face a Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship. So that's cool to see that back. It was mentioned how Becky Lynch was fined $10,000 for hitting the ref, which I do not like at all. And that was it. So hopefully they don't mention that anymore, because I think the fine storylines are absolutely garbage. If you watch my SmackDown reviews over the recent weeks when they did that with Kevin Owens, I hate it. I hate fine storyline stuff. I hate when they try to make storylines realistic like that, because we know she ain't fined. We're not that stupid. Kids might believe it, but the majority of the audience is adults. We don't believe that type of mess. Please stop doing that. Quit questioning our intelligence. But anyway, this match was a very good match. Bayley attacked Alexa Bliss in the beginning, thus making it basically a handicap match for the most part. Nikki Cross is just great. She's a great wrestler. She's just great. She had this majority to herself, and she was just taking down both of the women. It was great. And to the ending of it, I was doing something else again, but I think the match ended up being a no contest. I don't know what happened, but Becky Lynch ended up running down the steel chair, I think, and beating up Sasha Banks, and I believe Bayley as well. So getting her payback for that. So this is good for that feud. Charlotte Flair came out and took out Bayley. So it's good for these matches continuing going forward. And I'm very interested to see where they go with both of these feuds. So next up, R-Truth in the run of Kane to be the 24/7 champion for like the 16th time. I lost track of how many times though. But Kane got mad, and that was it. It was good to see Kane last night. I've missed him slightly. I've always liked Kane since he's been married. He hasn't been on here much, but he made a good guest appearance since they're in his jurisdiction of being in Knox County, Tennessee. So that was cool. And next up we had Dana Brooke versus Lacey Evans. This is just to further the Lacey Evans and Taylor storyline. This match is pretty good. I'm very, very impressed with Lacey Evans here lately. She's cleaned up her polished her ring work, and she's way better than she was. I like it a lot. And she ended up beating Dana Brooke with a sharpshooter, thus sending a sign to Natalia. She's screaming in the camera, "This is for you. I did this for you, Nay," or something like that. I think this is going to lead to a Lacey and Natalia tag team, maybe, which I'm down with. They could be part of the women's tag team scene and be good. They could be good champions, maybe. But I like this feud going forward. Each woman has one win or the other, so I'm very excited to see when they finish that best of three series or so. Next up was the main event, and this whole main event stuff it saved the show. In my opinion. If it weren't for the Fiend and all that stuff, this show would have been flatter than a pancake. But thank goodness the Fiend was here. So the match was Robert Roode versus Seth Rollins. Very good match. I like how they're pushing Robert Roode to be on his own. Dolph was there in his corner, which I figured they wouldn't. He'd be injured from the Braun Strowman attack, but he was there still. All of the match was great. Very good match. And ended up Dolph Ziggler attacked Rollins for the DQ. Then the OC ran down. Again, I'm like, why? I guess they're helping Dolph and Robert, but I forgot. I'm like, why are they running down here? And then Kane in his full attire, mask, everything came out. I guess he was coming out because he was mad about all truth stuff and he wanted to be with some people. But he got a very good pop because no one was expecting him to come out like that. And he took out everybody. And then he was about to do his little fireworks thing with his hands when the Fiend's screeching came out, the lights started going out, and it was insane. And a light came back on with the Fiend standing behind Kane. And the shot they did for this was phenomenal camera work. It was just like the picture of like half of Kane's face and his shoulder, and all you saw was the Fiend's head behind him. And the Fiend turned around and choked out Kane with a mandible claw. So Kane is now the Fiend's best friend, Bray Wyatt's best friend. And after the match, this is what I loved. Seth Rollins was in the corner. It was still pitch dark, basically, except for one or two lights. The Fiend slid over to Seth and just stared in his face, just stared at him, and Seth was in the bottom corner, just basically about to cry. He was so scared. I loved this by Seth. His acting here was phenomenal. Kudos to him for this. The Fiends looked so dominant. Like I said, him foreshadowing every show, like, is he going to come now? Is he coming during the show? That notion of when is he coming keeps the show interesting and kind of unpredictable to me in a way. He will really attack anyone, it seems. And they should have just ended the show with the Fiend and Seth, with the Fiend staring at Seth like that, but no. They had like 3 minutes to go. What they do, they played a Firefly Funhouse intro loop for about 3 to 4 minutes. That was the end. It was cool for like the first maybe minute, but we're like, okay now. Okay. It was basically just the theme song getting lower pitched and distorted and all that. I'm like, okay, we get it. The Fiend was here. That was, I think that was also production error. So I don't know what's going on with the production team last night with the upside down screens and then that. But they need to work on some things. But yeah, the 3 or 4 minutes of the Firefly Funhouse theme was kind of annoying. I wish they just ended it off as the Fiend staring down and whimpering Seth Rollins. That would have been more effective. But nonetheless, this whole segment was phenomenal. Now, the show as a whole was very, very underwhelming. I was kind of disappointed. I was very disappointed to be frank. Nothing really happened. It was just, hey, we got matches in 3 weeks in Hell in a Cell. The Fiend, Seth Rollins, and Becky and Sasha, and basically it's gonna be Natalya and and Lacey Evans. It's gonna be Charlotte and Bayley. That's all that we got from the show. Matches were made basically for Hell in a Cell. We have Maria's now basically sleeping. We have no clue who she sleeps with now. The show basically was very underwhelming. Out of 5 stars, I give it a 3. And that's because the Fiend, if it was better, it got a high score because the Fiend saved it. But the show, in my opinion, was very lacking. Like I said at the beginning, Paul Heyman just was relying on the shock value of Rusev and Kane, and that wasn't good. So the show was flat, but the Fiend saved it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the show. Tune in tomorrow for my SmackDown Live review. Thanks for watching, guys. It was awesome.